I'm CK. Tonight we've got what might be a fun one. It's from Vogertime, and it's a little FM transmitter, very short distance. But we'll see how it goes together, see how it works, and see if it's fun. Hope you enjoy the video. Little bag. I don't know if this has got bubble wrap in it or whether it will actually be recyclable. We'll find that out in a little bit. No, it's got bubble wrap. I can't recycle it. Dang it all. FM radio transmitter DIY kit in the instruction manual. Fun project, fun time. FM transmitter is mainly composed of the STM8S003F3P6 and FM transmitter chip QN8027, connected through whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not sure if this is actually a radio. I'm not sure. So what do we actually have here? There's the component list, how to identify caps. This is a schematic. So this may not be the actual radio. It may just be the microphone, but I'm still not really sure. Yeah, as it says in how you actually use it, the frequency of the transmitter and the radio should be the same. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so this is just the transmitter. Okay, so we've got plenty of FM radios lying around the shop that I've done, so we'll be able to do this fine. So this is just the transmitter. Let me look at the parts in the bag now. That'll be a frequency readout. Battery box, 2 AA's. Some spacers and screws, resistors, caps, a jack, it looks like 3.5mm jack. There's a timing crystal in there, and a couple of push button switches, probably for tuning. Here's our stereo cable, antenna. This is the microphone. Okay, so that is the connector, and this is a lav type mic. Maybe I'll replace my Nikon mics with this. Maybe not. Now let's look at the circuit board. Oh, this is going to be very simple. As you can see, there's not a whole... that's why. Because the FM chip and the transmitter chip are surface mount, and they're already installed. So this will be way, way quick. Okay. Power switch, something over here. That looks like USB, but I'm not sure. A 12 megahertz crystal goes here, resistors, capacitors, all with the values listed. So there's not a lot to making this kit. So we'll see how it goes. Broad frequency. Oh, this is all through-hole plated on the circuit board, which is nice. So that will ensure we have no cold solder joints and everything will work wonderfully well. So that's it. It's going to be a relatively simple build, and then we'll try it with one of the FM radios I have lying around the shop. Let me get the soldering iron heated up, and we'll put this thing together. Okay, let me dump the electronics components out into my parts bin, parts tray, whatever you want to call it. Let's see what we got here on these 5 resistors, the most of any component. So let's do the first one, see how much we have to bend the leads, and how the solder goes on this board. This almost looks, because this is a surface mount type board, the black are typically surface mount, because it's got surface mount components. This fiberglass substrate is kind of flaking on the end. Let me grab some more solder. Gonna have to put a new roll in soon. I go through a lot of solder. Let's see how well this heats up and does. Oh, perfect. Board is very nice. So that went well, and the solder bled through the through-hole plating very well. So I'll go ahead and go through all the rest of the resistors. Well, there are no more resistors. There's only these 6. So resistor time will be very short today, but please enjoy resistor time. That's all the resistors, and now the instructions just say basically put all the rest of the stuff on the board except for the electrolytic. So we'll put the inductor on first, or coil, however you refer to it in what you've learned. Where is it? Should be L1. There it is. 120 nanohenries. Now we'll put the disc caps on, decoupling caps for these ICs. And then the crystal. None of these are polarized, of course. That's 12 megahertz. And the tactile switches. Legs are a little cattywampus on this, so I got to be careful not to bend them further. Oops. This one has already bent too far. These are the frequency up and down buttons to tune it. Oh heck, I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of the components on. This is 4.7 microfarad electrolytic, and these are polarized, of course, and there's a good plus sign indicator on the board, so you won't get confused. And we'll even do the switch, the power switch. Notches on this side. There's a little indent on the switch, and there's a notch marked on the silk screen on the circuit board. Go ahead and solder everything I've got right now. There's all that. Now we'll put the audio in jack, so it comes with a lavalier mic, kinda, but I'm sure we could put an MP3 player in there, anything else we might want. Now we'll put the display on. I'm going to peel the protective tape off it first. And it goes, you can see where the decimal point dots are. That's what you want to match. Set that down. Do one pin. Make sure it's all flat. It is not all flat, so we heat that solder joint up again, and you might have heard that little click as it got flat on the board. There's all that. Now at some point we're going to put the battery box on. I think, yeah, we're going to mount the battery box on the back, like so, but we're going to use these standoffs, so then the battery box becomes a rest, which is kind of always neat. It's a good use. Now, there are a bunch of holes here. Got to make sure I'm getting the right holes. This battery box is definitely a multi-purpose battery box. We also want to get the, well, we don't have to get the polarities on the battery box to match the silk screening. I'm going to, but you really don't have to, since the leads are going to take the power to the right spot anyway. So that'll go there. Might notice this hole is a little elongated, so you can adjust the positioning of these posts if it doesn't quite line up. I wonder why they got nuts. They have one, oh, I know what that's for. That's for the antenna, you silly guy. Put this through this hole in the circuit board, the hole that's not elongated, and where I just put my screwdriver away. I'm not going to tighten that all the way down quite yet, because we're going to get this other hole lined up correctly. How much time do I have left on the camera? Okay, good. That's tight. That's tight. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect the power, and the power goes to these pads, positive and negative. So the way we do that is we take, I'm going to do the negative lead first, so let me tuck the positive one out of the way. I'm going to take solder and put solder on the pad here. Nice big dollop of it. And then I'll take the black wire and reheat that solder dollop and let it cool, and the black wire is captured in there. Do the same for the red or positive lead. Next step and final step. See, now this, with the batteries in it, it'll be weighted heavier on the back and it'll sit upright like that. Now we'll take the antenna. Do you want to go on the front or the back? You want to go on the back, okay. Put the... Oh, is this already threaded? Shouldn't be threaded. I thought it was just simply a pass-through. But it might actually be threaded. It comes with a nut. That's why I didn't think it would be threaded. And it's not really threaded. It's just not clearly machined or smoothly machined. Somebody was having a bad day at the drill press. Actually, it is threaded, but I'll tighten this nut down anyway. Try to get the antenna to stand somewhat vertically. Now, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to lay some solder down along here just to make sure that I get good conductivity all along here. Gotta leave the iron on there for a while because this is a lot of metal, so gotta have a lot of heat transfer. I'm not going to do more than that. It's a good solder line there. Now I'll take some batteries out of this thing, which is my super stereo ear, which I could use in place of that microphone probably. Huh. That's a good thought. But besides solder, I can go through a lot of batteries if I'm not careful. Make sure the switch is off. The switch is off. Get the lavalier mic out. Plug that in. And that is the device. So let me go get an FM radio and we'll transmit to it. Back in a minute. So grabbed an FM radio. I built this little kit a while ago. There's video on my channel. I'll leave a link for it if I remember. I probably won't remember, so you can search for it. It works. So I'm gonna tune to an unused channel. Let's find a spot again. I'm sorry, this is the exciting part. CK finds an empty spot. So let's try 88.5. I don't think there's anything currently broadcasting there. Nope. Now, we'll turn this guy on. And we got LEDs. It's all the way up at 108. So let's see if it wraps. It does. So let's go to 88.5. I heard click. Okay. I believe it's picking us up. Hold on one second here while I undo this twist tie, which I should have done before, but I didn't, and I don't know which way they twisted it, so I'm just going to clip it. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'll put the microphone down by the radio speaker. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Gosh. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's not very good. I'm going to go up a free. Oops. Is that better? Is that better? Well, it's sending out carrier. Oh, there we go. It's not very good quality. I'm going to do something. I'm going to, instead of using that microphone, which seems pretty lousy quality, because as you heard from the music, this is not a bad little FM radio. Where on earth did I put that cable? Oh, I used it over here. I'm going to go out from my iPad. If I can figure out where the headphone jack is. There it is. I'm going to go out from my iPad to my own music on that and plug that into here as the transmit. Now we'll play that. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. I mean, it's basically giving me the same fidelity as the regular. I'm going to scroll that back. And I'm going to carry this around the shop, see how far I can go. I'm going to leave. No, I'll carry the microphone. So I'm about 10 feet away, 3 meters away. Going back, it's still transmitting fine. Okay, it starts to break up about 15 feet. So it's not a lot of power, but it certainly works. The interference you keep hearing is because I'm bringing, there's a lot of electrical crap in my workshop, as you can imagine. I'm moving by stuff. But yeah, this is a very serviceable transmitter. I mean, obviously, extremely short range. Extremely short range, but that's okay. You know, I don't know what you do with this. You know, bug your little sibling's room to get something to blackmail them with in the future. So that all went really well. I'm pretty pleased with this, except this microphone is not good. So if you're going to use this, get a better mic or use an MP3 player or whatever you want to do. So that's a little FM transmitter. Very quick kit, would be an easy build for a youngster and kind of fun to play with. Hope you enjoyed the video.